eh?
No worries, man. No worries at all.
So, mate, I've got to say congratulations on the brand new album. It's an absolutely fantastic album, so congratulations.
Oh, thanks, man. Really appreciate that. Yeah, it's a big relief to get it out, actually. We held on to it for a little while there. Obviously would have liked to have put it out last year, but yeah, we held on to it, and I think we've timed it pretty well in the end, actually. We get to go out and do some shows now, and the response has been great. So, yeah, man, it's really good to get it out there finally.
Yeah, what was it like sitting on it? Because that must have felt really, really tough, because I know there's always that excitement to get your music out there so that people can hear it. What was it like actually recording it and then having to sit on it for a while?
Yeah, I mean, it was frustrating, man. Like, to be honest, we recorded it at the end of 2019, so it was pretty much like a full, almost year and a half of just sitting on it. And, I mean, like, in some ways it was cool because we had extra time to really plan everything out and make sure that the release was going to run really smoothly. And this time around, we've got a few more people involved than the last record, which is nice. Like, we've got a few different PR companies, and we've got the distribution guys as well, Blood Blast. So there was a few more people to deal with and stuff. So like it was a bit more work involved, and we got to do like a couple of music videos, and so just get the release like ready to go. But yeah, I mean, it was just frustrating not being able to get out, like, tour it really. And like, you just get to the point where, you know, like you've recorded it, you've done all the hard work, and just like, you kind of get a bit over it in a way. Like, and it really breathes new life into the band when it does finally come out. And then just hearing the response across the board, it's been fantastic. But yeah, there was like, you know, it was up and down, man. We were still rehearsing as much as we could last year, but rehearsing without a set list is pretty pointless a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And like, we tried to write some more stuff. So, like, we've got some more songs in the bank for the next record, but for me personally, like, I take care of the majority of the management side of the band, so I was just so keen to get this release happening. So it was hard for me to kind of get reinvested in like more new stuff. So I just had this at the back of my mind the whole time. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't change anything really, just because like we did have that extra time, and the release is running really smoothly now. And yeah, I got to say, I wasn't really prepared for how busy it was going to be. It's just been a flurry of emails every 8 seconds. So yeah, I guess without that extra time to prepare for that, it might have been a bit more difficult. But yeah, I think it's all worked out in the end.
Yeah, you mentioned having more people on board this time as well. Does that kind of make your management side of things easier, or does it make it even busier because there's more stuff going on?
It definitely makes it busier, but it's good. Like, it just means that more people get to hear our music, and that's the main thing, man. We've got these guys in Germany. They're called October Promotions. They've done a fantastic job of PR over there. And then we've got Cult Etiquette in. They're split between Perth and Sydney, and they're taking care of the Australian release. So yeah, I feel like I get a new review or a new interview request like every day almost at the moment, which is absolutely amazing. Like, last time we put out a record, we kind of just did most of it ourselves and just threw it out there and, you know, see what stuck. But this time it's a lot more calculated, a lot more planning went into it, as I just said before. And yeah, it is busier, but like it just like I said, it puts our music into more ears, so it's a good thing for sure.
Yeah. I wanted to talk a little bit about the lyrics on this album, because there's some very heartfelt lyrics on there and some very intimate lyrics, talking about things about like family members with disabilities and things like that. What was that like, sitting down and working on lyrics that was so intimate?
Yeah, man, it was something like that song that you're referring to there, The Voiceless. So that was the first single we put out. Yeah, that was tough, man. Like, I've been wanting to write a song about that for a long time, and when we were sort of halfway through writing the music for that one, I just thought that, you know, this could be the one. This is going to be the one that's going to suit this concept, because it's got this, you know, big like melodic hook, and I wanted something equally powerful with the music to accompany those lyrics. And yeah, like, I'm my own worst enemy when it comes to writing. Like, I rewrite everything a million times, but especially that one, because you're dealing with something that is so personal, like you just said. So yeah, it was definitely a challenge, man, but I'm really happy with how that one came out. And yeah, like the subject matters, yeah, it wasn't easy. It's just, like the concept I really wanted to get across there was just the concept of resilience. Yeah, my sister, she's heavily disabled physically and intellectually, and it's just sort of written about what it was like from my side and my parents' side growing up with that. And I think you can take a lot from this song in the sense that in life you come across all sorts of challenges, and sometimes you don't really have a choice but to just get on with it and do the best that you can to because sometimes there's a lot more on the line than your well-being. So you just got to push through at times, and that's the concept I wanted to get across there, and I think it came across quite well.
Oh yeah, it does. Yeah. And do you find writing from the heart like that therapeutic? Is it something that you just feel that you've got this outlet where you can just let out whatever you're thinking?
Yeah, man, it definitely is. I think on this record, I got a bit more into that sort of style of writing. Like, obviously, there's a few more. There's other songs on this record that are a bit more just straight up metal, like apocalyptic kind of concepts. But even in those ones, I think there is like some personal stuff going on there as well that I tried to integrate. And once I knew that was the direction that I wanted to take the lyrics on the record in, I think it kind of became like, it was a challenge, but like once I had that clear direction, it became easier. And yeah, definitely very therapeutic once you rewrite it for the 15th time.
Yeah, the Cathedral of Bones title and also the artwork looks absolutely fantastic. Where did that idea come about for that name? Because it is such a perfect name for this album, and like I said, it lends itself to the artwork so brilliantly well.
Yeah, it was a pretty simple brief when I sent it to the artist. But that, man, I'll tell you what, that album cover wasn't as easy as you might think to get done. Like, it's obviously an amazing piece of art, but that was like the third artist that we had in the end that actually did the final product. But yeah, even that was a bit of a struggle. But we got there in the end. It looks amazing. But yeah, that concept is kind of just like going a little bit away from the more personal side of things. I just wanted to write it's kind of just a bit of a story. It's sort of representative of just where the world's heading. I think the cathedral itself is it's metal as fuck in its barest form, but it also represents just the real apathy that that's kind of plagued the human race in a way, and it almost feels like sometimes the senseless destruction of the environment is almost intentional, and that we often don't seem to realise that there is a problem until it's like standing right in front of us. In this case, and so the Bone Cathedral is just the manifestation of that concept. And all these dudes that you can see on the cover that are like building it, they're sort of constructing it out of the remains of all the people that have perished along the way, sort of thing. And it's supposed to just be like the last thing on Earth. And that's a pretty bleak outlook, but that's it feels like that's where we're heading sometimes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And musically, this album, it's one of those albums where when you listen to it, it just kind of reaches out and grabs you. It's got a big sound, but it just draws you in when you're listening to it. What was it like laying down the musical side of this album? Because it sounds so big. Did you guys do something different in the studio this time?
We worked with the same engineer, Chris Samelko. So I think that in itself helps because he really understands and is a huge fan of our band, which I think makes a massive difference. Like, you just get that extra little bit of enthusiasm from the guy that you're working with. But in terms of writing this time, I'd say the main difference was that it wasn't just a guitar-based record. I know there's a shitload of riffs on there, but during the writing process, it was all in. We were all in the same room for pretty much all of the pre-pro, and we did a shitload of that as well. So it was just a lot of rewriting, and I think on the last album, From Flesh to Dust, it was kind of just you just throw a few riffs together and then that's the song, and then you just put some drums to that and then that's kind of it. But where this time around, because it was all four of us giving a little bit more input across the board, and more from a rhythmic point of view as well. There's a couple of riffs that were written based off kick drum patterns and just that kind of thing, which is something that we haven't really done before. It's always just been based off, rooted in guitar, which I think the band still is. But just having those extra influences along the way definitely helps it become what it was. And like I said before, just the pre-production was a huge factor in this. Worked with Dom Simpson from Darker Half, and he did a fantastic job. Like he filled in for our band for a little while, so again, he like really understands the direction we're trying to head in. And yeah, it's just like it's good having someone that you trust and that you respect that can offer honest opinions on your music. And it's sometimes you get stuck in the fishbowl a little bit when you're writing with your own band, because it's just like you're kind of listening to it as you're playing it. But when you have like an objective set of ears on it, I think that makes a massive difference. So all those factors kind of came together to make it what it was.
Definitely. And now you get to head out on the road as well. The first gig kicks off on March 5th. Tell us a little bit about how excited you are about heading out and being able to play some of these new tracks live.
Yeah, man, I can't wait. We've had a lot of cancellations over the last year, as you can imagine. It's been a very challenging booking process. But having said that, I'm very grateful that we can play any shows. There's other parts of the world that are, far worse off than Australia. So, very grateful to be able to get out there and play them live. But yeah, it's everything's relative. It's still been tough because it's, just trying to stay ahead of the game. Like if something gets cancelled, it's been, all right, I've got to rebook that straight away, and that might get cancelled too. But I don't know. I'll believe it when I'm on stage.
Yeah. Well, mate, we cannot wait to see you get on stage. So I guess to finish up, what would you like to say to people out there, not only before they go and grab the album, but go and see you guys play live as well? And I haven't been able to say that for 12 months. So what would you like to say to everybody out there?
Oh, that even sounds weird just hearing you. I can talk about a tour for ages. No, man, I'm really looking forward to seeing everyone out there. Like I said, the response has been great, and I'm just really looking forward to seeing a bunch of people screaming along and having a good time at the shows. And that's one thing that I think has really become of this shitty situation, is people like really understand the value of music now. Just for example, like this Sydney show, I was kind of worried about the ticket prices because we had to charge that much just to make it work for everybody, and then it's still sold out in like a couple of days. So, after being starved of it for so long, people are just hungry for some live music. So, yeah, I just can't wait to see everyone on the road, man. It's going to be awesome.
Definitely. Well, mate, I'll let you go. Have a great night, and hopefully we get to see you when you guys are in Melbourne.
Sweet, man. See you there.
All right, mate. Talk to you soon. Bye.